Chief Justice and Justices, as it may please the court, I would like to, for the record, mention that I have the instructions from the Chief as well for my remarks, and gave us some great rules. Certainly, you are blessed to have your family with you this morning, and certainly always I'd like to remind Chief Justice Burnett Johnson of what a pleasure it was to have her some 5 years ago swearing us in. And what an honor, Justice Weimer, Chief, to give me an opportunity to speak on this historical occasion. You know, every generation of Louisianians from the beginning has had to answer for itself the question, how should we live? Our answers in war and in peace, famine and prosperity, in plagues or good health, in good times and bad times, in small things and in great things, through the whole range of human affairs, are the essential threads of a much larger story. We are all told and desire peace and prosperity, and that to get there, we must find common ground upon which to build a better society. Our nation was founded as a republic made up of two constitutional systems, a federal and a state. This constitutional system mandates that governments be split into three branches. The tension between these branches is required. It is in the friction that it creates that is supposed to keep them together. Just as tension cables on great bridges bear the weight of the structure, making them sound and sturdy. And while the other two branches pull strongly one way or the other, the courts must instead pull towards the center, towards the Constitution. Our nation's courts serve as the arbiters for the public, whether between private litigants or a citizen and his government. They serve the unique role of an unbiased adjudicator in a broad range of circumstances. However, regardless of the circumstances, our judges and justices are called to apply the law fairly. To quote Justice Amy Coney Barret, I believe Americans of all backgrounds deserve an independent Supreme Court that interprets our Constitution and our laws as they are written. This holds true for the highest court in a nation and for the highest court in our state. When judges impose their beliefs instead of upholding the law, which the citizenry better understands than we think, it is only a matter of time before the citizenry shows the same disrespect for law and order. If there is a common thread that is supposed to bind the government to its citizens, it is the law. Both our state and federal constitutions spell out the fundamental rights that are granted to us by God, not by governments. The danger, the true destruction, is when those elected to enforce and uphold the law use that power to bend the governed to their will, breaking the law and usurping the Constitution, thereby depriving all of liberty. In Louisiana, this duty falls on these 7 justices, charged with balancing the whole of Louisiana. Make no mistake, this is a balancing act, not a deadlift. But with one wrong move, it becomes a deadlift. A justice's wisdom is crucial in balancing the immense body of law, and it's most effective when guided by an experienced, dedicated chief. This is no easy feat, especially at the highest level of scrutiny. Litigants appearing before this court rarely bring an issue with a simple answer, but all deserve the full benefit of the court's discernment. As noted by the famous Supreme Court Justice Harlan, our Constitution is colorblind and neither knows nor tolerates classes among citizens. In respect of civil rights, all citizens are equal before the law. However, equal does not mean extra. A chief's work is not just in keeping justice for all, but in the upkeep of the justice system for all. Service to the people is the entire purpose here. What may seem to some as pomp and circumstances is inherently sacred and fundamental. As the governor said, what a beautiful building we have. It lays the foundation for the people's defense against tyranny and injury. And we all know well the famous quote by John Adams that we must be a nation of laws and not of men. But lesser known is his warning on the same topic. There is a danger from all men, he says. The only maximum of a free government ought to be to trust no man living with the power to endanger the public liberty. That skepticism is another force, another tension acting on our government. It is a force of the people and a right to question those in power. And it is in this court that it is called to find justice. The search for justice is not a lonesome endeavor. It demands the work of many, but is led by one. As the new Chief Justice of the Louisiana Supreme Court, Justice John Weimer takes that lead. And I am confident that he will serve our state honorably, and our court is in good hands. Thank you, and God bless Louisiana.